Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining me for this explainer. Look, our goal today is actually really straightforward. We're going to look at the data and prove exactly how adopting a SaaS CMMS, that's a software as a service computerized maintenance management system, can literally transform our maintenance department from a traditional cost center into a real, powerful driver for our bottom line. We really need to move away from this old idea of maintenance just being a necessary evil, right? It's time we reframe it as a strategic asset.
Okay, let's just dive right into it. Here's a quick look at our roadmap. We'll cover the current state of maintenance, why SaaS CMMS is the smart move, how it boosts scheduling and efficiency, its impact on driving long-term profitability, and finally, choosing the right vendor.
So Section 1, the state of maintenance. To really understand the solution, we kind of have to ground ourselves in the reality of how things are operating today. Take a look at this number, 19. According to recent industry data, like the Plant Engineering Maintenance Study, an average of 19 hours per week is spent just on scheduled maintenance. I mean, think about that massive baseline of effort for a second. That is basically half of a standard work week, dedicated purely to routine, scheduled upkeep. And remember, that's just the planned part of the equation.
But honestly, here is where the reality really bites. While 78% of facilities report using preventative maintenance strategies, a staggering 61% admit they still fall heavily back on reactive maintenance. What does that actually mean? It means that despite everyone's best efforts to plan ahead, the majority of the time, teams are just out there putting out fires. Equipment breaks, production grinds to a halt, and the workforce has to scramble. It's a massive drain on resources, and it just bleeds efficiency and capital.
Which brings us to Section 2. Why choose SaaS CMMS?
So, if the old way of doing things isn't working, what makes SaaS the definitive answer? Well, for the financial decision makers in the room, it really comes down to the cost structure. Traditional on-premise systems require huge upfront capital expenditure. You're buying servers, infrastructure, massive licensing fees, the whole shebang. A SaaS CMMS completely flips the script on that. It provides a really low initial barrier to entry and highly predictable low running costs. You aren't buying the infrastructure, you're just subscribing to a ready-made, constantly optimized service.
To break that down a bit further, let's look at this side by side. With an on-premise system, the heavy lifting falls entirely on your in-house IT team. They have to manage the company infrastructure, run the manual upgrades, sweat over data security. It's a lot. But with a SaaS CMMS, it's all cloud-based. Literally, all you need is an internet connection. The software vendor takes on the entire burden of IT, system upgrades, data backups, and providing a secure, dedicated infrastructure. So your IT team is finally freed up to focus on the actual business, not just, maintaining maintenance software.
Okay, Section 3, boosting scheduling and efficiency.
Now, saving on IT overhead is fantastic, obviously, but the real magic happens out on the facility floor. A SaaS CMMS radically transforms workflow visibility. Managers can auto-schedule preventative tasks so absolutely nothing falls through the cracks. Technicians can identify exact asset locations instantly, no more wandering around a massive facility looking for a specific valve. They get instant access to work orders and manuals right on their mobile devices while they're physically standing at the equipment. And as they work, the system is feeding real-time progress updates and cross-departmental reporting back to management. This kind of instant data sharing fundamentally slashes repair cycles and just eliminates so much wasted prep time.
And this really illustrates it perfectly. A centralized digital dashboard and mapping interface gives managers instant, crystal clear visibility into who is doing what, exactly where they are doing it, and when it's going to be done. It seamlessly aligns day-to-day maintenance activities with our overall business objectives. This ensures the workforce is being utilized optimally and, crucially, that equipment lifespan is actually extended.
Moving on to Section 4, driving long-term profitability. All right, it's time to elevate the conversation from day-to-day efficiency up to the executive metrics that really dictate company health. Let's talk about ROFA, or Return on Fixed Assets. By definition, ROFA is calculated by dividing a company's current operational income by the investment cost of its fixed assets. Basically, this tells us exactly how efficiently we are using our physical equipment and infrastructure to generate a profit. And guess what? Routine, perfectly executed maintenance directly impacts this exact barometer of business health. So the crucial point is right here. If a business earns $5 million and owns $20 million in fixed assets, it has a 25% ROFA. That means for every single dollar spent, you see a 25-cent return in net profit. Now, imagine a critical asset fails because of reactive, poor maintenance. Production stops dead. That operational income plummets and your ROFA shrinks. A SaaS CMMS automates the alerts, the warnings, and the schedules required to prevent those mechanical failures in the first place, fiercely protecting and even expanding that 25% margin.
Finally, Section 5, choosing the right vendor. To completely de-risk this decision, here is an actionable roadmap. When we're selecting a vendor, we need to stick to these 4 strict criteria. Number 1, check their reputation and client reviews. We absolutely need a proven partner. Number 2, ensure the software scales to our specific work order volume and requirements. Number 3, confirm the pricing is transparent and actually matches our allocated budget. And finally, and this might be the most important part for future-proofing, prioritize API-first expandable technology. We want a system that can easily integrate with IoT sensors and condition monitoring down the road. We want to spend less time coding and way more time actually operating. I want to leave you all with this single, kind of provocative question. Can our bottom line truly afford to lose another 19 hours this week to inefficient, reactive maintenance? I mean, we've seen the data, we've seen the cost savings, and we've seen exactly how a SaaS CMMS drives our return on fixed assets. Sticking to the status quo is literally costing us capital. Investing in a cloud-based maintenance management system isn't just an IT upgrade. It is a fundamental strategy for higher performance, higher output, and ultimately, higher profitability. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm really looking forward to discussing the next steps for implementation.